Hey guys, what's up? It's Leon here, and today I got a cool surprise to you. I've been working on a new PC for the last 2 months now. I'd like to show you guys what I've been up to. For the design team, I went with Miku, one of the characters of the Japanese Vocaloid program. It is wildly popular in Japan and other parts of the world. Components. Let's start with the external chassis. For the case, I chose the Fantex 719, which is a full tower case. The extra height allowed more radiator supports and some other configuration options. More on that later. I wanted to keep the blue, silver, and black tone as a Miku character design. Also, I wanted a little RGB accents going on. As you can see, I can have work on the front and party on the side. Full disclosure, some of the parts I used during some of the clips in the video were discarded as I came closer to completing the build. For the CPU, I kept my 16-core 1950X Threadripper. This was more than enough for my system, since I rely more on GPU performance for my workflow. Plus it has 64 PCIe lanes, which is more than the most recent Ryzen processor. For the RAM, I'm using 128 gigabytes, which is the most that this motherboard can handle, and because After Effects. Enough said. For the motherboard, I'm using the Gigabyte X399 Designer X, which has all the pro features I need, plus it comes with a silver coating that matches the color scheme I'm going for. GPUs. For the GPUs, I'm using 4 2080 Ti's. I know. The 30 series is out, but I was unable to get my hands on one, let alone 4. More on this later. I'm going to connect these GPUs with Nvlink so I can have double the memory at 22 gigabytes RAM. I'm using a 1600 watt EVGA PSU to power this whole system. So let's get on to the build. For the water cooling section, let's start with the radiators. At first I went with dual 480 rads as it was listed as compatible with the case, which was technically correct, but in practice it was not feasible. So I opted for dual 240mm rads on the top and bottom, with a 4mm rad on the side. Also 120mm at the back exhaust to help align the loop a little bit better. Fittings, honestly I lost count at the amount of fittings I used, but as you can see here, there were various straight, 45 degrees, and also 90 degrees fittings, probably 20 or more of them. For the tubes, I used the Clear Primo Chill tubes. So for the water blocks, I ordered 3 2080 Ti water blocks. I bought these from the Bykski store on AliExpress since they were out of stock on the US website. I ordered different parts such as the GPU bridge from the US website. They all came pretty quick with expedited shipping, so I was able to get it within a week or two. For the CPU cooling, I'm using the EK-Velocity RGB Waterblock. For the reservoir, I'm using the EK Quantum Kinetic 300D5 reservoir. Some of the issues I ran into were just the complexity of the task. I totally underestimated what it would take to water cool 4 GPUs. Also, breaking down most of them and installing the water block on there. I had a lot of seating problems at first, and I did have a water spill due to a misaligned O-ring, but everything was fine. My quad 1080 Ti is now being used as my streaming podcast setup. You can follow me on these links below. The performance was really good. I have about a 1500 on Octane bench, which is pretty standard for a quad 2080 Ti build. So as you can see, yeah, it was a pretty complex build. For my first build, I really kind of set the bar really high, more than usual. It's very complex. Like I was just sitting, sometimes I just sit at night and just think of like the loops going on about around and around in my head and how the fittings connect. And that's how I came up with this special contraption of rads and tubing. I mean, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, and you can get really creative. I'm not sure if I'm ready for hard tubing yet, but soft tubing is really flexible. Ironically, no, of course. All right, so as I mentioned before, 2 of these GPUs would be are in the EVGA step-up program, so they will be replaced by the 3080s. Maybe I'll add another one. I have to check the power limits. I might have to get another PSU. Not sure how it's gonna fit in there. Probably need a new case. So I maybe just create a different build with like quad 3080s in there. Whenever we get them, maybe next year, hopefully. Yeah. So hope you guys like the video. Please like and subscribe. Check my other channels out, and I'll see you guys later.